Time marches on,
and the age of a new king.
and the age of a new king.
And the age of a new king draws nearer.
My name is Alejandra Reynoso, and I voice Gallica.
My name is Greg Chun, and I voice More.
Hi, I'm Caleb Yen, and I voice the protagonist in Metaphor ReFantazio.
When I first heard of the world of Metaphor, it was when the audition came into my inbox. It was love at first sight, and I'm so glad that I got to be a part of her journey.
It was fascinating to me because I feel like this notion of a utopia and what that means has something that I've always thought about a lot ever since I was a kid. What a utopia would mean in modern times and how that contrasts with the world of Metaphor that's full of strife and tension and conflict. It's just a very interesting question. I think that on a philosophical level, I think about a lot because a lot of times I have trouble coping with reality and the way it is, and the idea of a utopia seems really nice. Metaphor, in its own really elegant way, it's a wonderful take on the question and how it could possibly be answered.
So I got the audition and I had no idea what it was for, and I was like, I'm gonna do this now. And I was like, that was cool, then I forgot about it, then I figured out what it was, and then I screamed continuously for like 30 seconds probably. A scream of joy. There was no anxiety in that one, save that for the game. Fight your anxieties.
I would say that she is all heart. She also is a good dose of sass, which is a lot of fun to play, but I do love the dynamic that she has with our protagonist and that she is there and she has his back no matter what. So she is an idealist. She feels openly and very big emotions about everything, and she's willing to do the hard stuff and stick with it.
More is kind of the through line for the protagonist in this game, where he's someone that the player keeps coming back to as they go through this journey, and he himself is a little bit of an enigma. He's this random guy who's in a library where he's imprisoned, and he obviously has nothing to do but think and read all day. He's kind of a philosopher. More is very interested in people and how it is that they interact with each other, how it is that they themselves have their own views on reality and fantasy and what their motivations are, their insecurities, and all that kind of stuff. And I think he finds it all very fascinating.
I would say the protagonist is someone who's kind of new to the entire situation in which he finds himself, new to fighting for both his beliefs and the good of the kingdom as a whole. Watching him grow along that journey as he finds out both what it means in like a big world sense, you know, as in like what am I doing, but also what it means personally for him and what his own personal investment in that cause is. Also, he's like, oh man, I'm like quiet, but then it's like, oh yeah, but I'm also like gonna kill stuff.
What I love most about Gallica is that her heart is always bigger than the problems in the world around them, that she is always willing to fight for the protagonist, no matter what.
His clothes, I like his fit. I kind of want to be more fashionable in my own life. I just like his general vibe. It's very elegant, it's very heady and sort of intellectual vibe. He just seems like a very calm observer type of presence in the game, and that's something that I feel like all of us could use a little bit, especially me in my own life. Being able to step back and look at things from just an academic standpoint. I like what that represents.
I would say I like everything because I got to play him, but also just because he's such a good bean, you know, like a cinnamon roll, figuring out where he belongs in this. He starts off naive, if you will, but as the game continues and he finds out more things and he has loss and he has development and he has a whole game's worth of stuff happen to him, he grows and changes. I really think it's fun to be able to play that growth arc, those differences, because he has things to say, he has a personality, and he grows and changes as the game goes on. And so that was really special to me.
If I had to enter the tournament for the throne, I would probably just host a bunch of piano sing-alongs. In my life, that was the way I was able to connect with people. Childhood was not always the best for a lot of folks for whatever reason, you know, and socially, the way that I found that I could bridge the gap and actually connect with people and have them like me was through music. It really was sort of the main way that I started to figure out who I was and blossom into some kind of being that had any element of confidence and self-worth. Because nothing brings people together like drunken singing.
Well, I don't think that I have the energy or the guile to go Luis's route. I think I would just approach it with sincerity and be as transparent as possible because that's all I could do.
I would live stream something interesting that I am gonna figure out by the end of this sentence. A cooking competition. I am bad at cooking, but I am entertainedly bad at cooking. And they'd be like, he's so bad at cooking, he must be a good ruler. And then I would win, you know, the throne, and I'd like eat porridge in my like throne because that's a place to eat porridge.
The game's themes that center around anxiety and facing your fears, that's kind of a journey I've been on personally my entire life. And I used to think that it was about being able to shrug off things that happen, roll with the punches, all that kind of stuff. And I realized, I think later in life and fairly recently, the ability to just sort of go with the flow, that doesn't amount to facing any fears or conquering anything. Because a lot of the time, what you're actually doing is just pushing stuff down and swallowing it and saying, this is fine, when it's really not. The hard work comes when you are able to actually take a look at yourself and be honest about what is there. I think people tend to not want to look within because they're afraid of what they might see, and that they may not like certain parts of themselves. That to me is courageous. The real hard work of facing your fears is looking through a window when you know you may not like what's on the other side.
It's an extremely human experience. I think we all deal with anxiety and fear to varying degrees. It just depends on how much it affects us in our day-to-day lives. The game is really good at focusing on the hopeful aspects of it, and you get to attack all of that and battle it with your friends, and that's what keeps you moving forward.
I hate anxiety. I am very anxious about things. Like sometimes I'll work with someone or meet someone and be like, they hate me, they don't like me, and they do not think about me, they do not know me, but I'm thinking about them and how much they don't like me. Being able to actually fight the physical manifestation of anxiety, literally punch it in the face, if you will, is really great, and I think everybody should do it.
What do I think draws people into the game? Oh, I think it's multifold. One, it's beautiful to look at. It also sounds beautiful. The score, I think we have an amazing collection of characters. I am very biased, obviously, as one of the actors, but I think getting to hear the performances of the other actors was just such a wonderful experience. And obviously, the story doesn't shy away from big, heavy, dark themes. It's also actually very simple, as dark as it is, because it's extremely human. But no matter what, it stays hopeful. And I think that's the biggest thing that keeps people coming back. But I think it encourages us to keep fighting for hope and for a world that could be better. And I think getting to do it with your friends who oftentimes share a single brain cell definitely keeps you coming back for more.
I think this game draws people in for like a bamillion different reasons. You have found family, outcast to not outcast, fighting your anxieties, rising up against the mean people, the establishment, if you will. All of those components combine to just make a really unique game that has a very realistic and sometimes scary message, but also in the end an uplifting and powerful message that you and your friends can go and defeat anxiety and figure out the world. And I think that's beautiful.
The world that Metaphor creates is very, very relatable, especially juxtaposed against this notion of utopia. And I know I'm guilty of this, is that I will retreat into fantasy when I cannot cope with reality. As an actor, obviously we have very vivid imaginations and we can construct a world where everything is just the way we want it to be. I think what's compelling about this game is that it does raise those questions as to what is a utopia? What is fantasy versus reality? Is reality worth fighting for? So in that way, I feel like the world as it's set up is already a very, very interesting place to be for the player.
The number one thing I miss about recording Metaphor is just being in that world. Go on those adventures with my friends, getting to make all those different connections with people all around the world, which is kind of something that after I've done Metaphor, I'm like, I want to go and meet more people in real life, you know, and have more friends. And so I've been trying to do that, but it's just not the same because they're like real people, and real people are like cool, but they're not like fictional people.
The thing I'll miss about voicing more, I think, is mostly just the writing that I was able to work with. The things that he wonders about, I wonder about. The puzzle that he's trying to figure out. A lot of times in my own life, I'm trying to figure it out too. So it's not only is it, you know, easy on my voice, because Moore is very calm for the most part, but it's interesting dialogue to chew on, not just from an acting standpoint, but just from a human standpoint.
I'll miss everything about her. She's so much fun. She has so much heart in her, but it's also so fun to get to play her opposite characters like Stroll and Hulkenberg and the protagonist and Heismay. I think her getting to respond to and be in concert with all of these amazing characters that are so easy to love and to root for and to have heartbreak for makes her a character that's really hard to say goodbye to. But I guess I can always visit her in Metaphor, so I guess I don't have to say goodbye to her.
I would call our group dynamic fun-loving.
Yeah, and I would call our group dynamic chaotic.
And I would call our group dynamic lovingly chaotic.
Wow, we used multiple words.
Yeah, that sounds like a D&D
Complimentary
alignment.
words, some might say.
I thought the chemistry was so natural. Both characters really are adorable to me, honestly. I couldn't actually connect them with these two because I've not interacted with you enough in real life to hear you in the character, so I was totally immersed.
He has like that French beret thing that probably has like secret baguettes under it, so it's even more mysterious. But the acting's really good too, because it's always like, what is his thing going on here? What is he thinking? What does he have under his hat, you know? You're very good.
I think all the performances were very immersive. Obviously, as Gallica, I spend a lot of time lovingly ribbing you as our protag, and then having our moments of enlightenment with Moore. Obviously, Moore is very elegant. And I'm not gonna say that Greg is not elegant, but obviously you're very, very funny.
Moore's funny.
And engaging in real life, and it's a different kind of engaging, so that's a lot of fun. Caleb, I get to rib you just as much in person, so it's nice to kind of have that vibe IRL.
I love ribs, I'm a barbecue fan, so
There you go.
it works. Okay, if we were stuck in the Gauntlet Runner together, the first thing I would do is use the bathroom, because you get stat stuff and doesn't use a ton of time.
I would make videos with these two. We could do like a whole channel, Gauntlet Runner life.
I probably would nap a lot, but I also would be excited to film videos with you guys.
I want to eat a lot. I deal with boredom by eating.
I will wake up to eat with Greg and or more. Mukbangs with like Hulkenberg.
Okay.
That would be amazing.
And then
Although
we could
I can't
do
picture
like,
Moore eating a sandwich.
I think that's the premise of the video. It's like, okay, like today we're gonna get more to eat something, you know?
I don't
And
think
then
you'd ever
maybe
get
like
full.
we'll try on berets with you.
He always wants
Oh my God.
more.
Let's.
Can we do each other?
This is you. Here's you. Ready?
Okay.
No holding back.
We're bonded down to the depths of our hearts, right?
This is you.
Me.
It seems you've acquired a new archetype.
Very elegant.
Imagine beret.
Pat. Oh.
From now on, it's not about orders. I'm with you because I want to be.
This is a fantasy.
Behold, I walk a royal path.
The United Kingdom of Uchronia. The year is 785. By this story of fantasy, may this faded world be painted anew.
Play the Metaphor ReFantazio demo, available now.